What up, everybody? So this is just another day in the shop, man. One of my barbers asked if I can get him right. And as you can see at the start of this video, I just begin to start saturating his hair and sectioning it based off of the way it grows already. So I don't want to comb it in a way that it doesn't already naturally grow. I'm combing it in a way that his hair wants to go. As you can see here, I start to do custom sectioning, is what I like to call it. It's just separating the hair again into the area that it's already growing. So as you can see here, this is wanting to grow back, so I'm combing it back. After sectioning off all his hair, as you can see right here, I sectioned off the crown area because that swirl pattern was a little difficult. I began taking vertical sections and just choosing my choice of length and just overall giving them some consistent layers in the back. So as you can see here, I take a piece from the top and I choose my choice of length. That's about how much I cut off. Once I let it go, I'm gonna connect everything else to that point. And as you can see here, there's my guide from the choice of length that I chose at the very beginning. And I'm just following that all the way down to the bottom of the nape. And you have to take into consideration that the lower that you get, the more that the head starts to round off. So the further the distance the hair has to travel, which technically the hair is all consistent, but there will be some longer areas due to the hair having to travel longer in certain areas of the head. And here all I did was just take a split section completely down the center of the head. I matched it with the center of his nose. And then I split the right panel from the left panel, and I just connected that from already what his length was on the side, because previously it was disconnected. So I just went ahead and connected it to the length that he had already had on the side of his head. And you can see here, as I'm starting to pick the hair up, you'll initially see the guide that I'm looking for. It's right there, wherever the light hairs are at. That's all the hair that needs to be cut. Now you can't forget about at the beginning of the video when I sectioned off the crown area. I'm going to release that piece now and just see what it wants to do. And again, it just naturally grows back, guys. That's the way his cowlick, if you would like to call it, grows. So here I'm just taking vertical sections again and just matching it with the back of the hair. But you have to be cautious, because if you cut this area too short, then it just tends to stick up and it gets really annoying. And some people just continue cutting it, which it just makes it keep sticking up more and more every time you keep cutting it again. Now for the top, all I'm doing is just connecting it to the length in the back. As you can see here at the tip of my index finger, that is the choice of length that we have to connect throughout the whole portion of the top of the head. Now, depending on what type of shape you'd want to give your client, that's completely up to you as the professional. But in this scenario, I went ahead and just gave them consistent lengths, which in barber terms is just round layers. But yeah, man, as you can see here, after doing that on the top, I'm just cleaning up the sides with my blending shears, just debulking a little bit of the hair before I start to get into my fading process. And my fading process is going to consist of going in with my trimmer first and establishing my first bald guideline, and just making sure that that foundation is solid to build up from.
Bless you. Bless you.
Now I'm going in with my number 3 guard all the way closed, and me previously going in with my blending shears really helped that number 3 blend up into that, as you can see. And now I went ahead and went in with my number 1 guard all the way closed and established my second initial guideline. That number 3 was pretty much to just debulk. But with that number 1 guard, I'm going to start off closed and I'm going to move my way all the way open to just slowly start to flick out that line that we just created. Now, of course, I went ahead and went in with my 1.5 guard all the way closed to just soften that line that the one guard open couldn't really get, or it would have went a little too high. So I'm just flicking that area. I'm keeping my guard not completely flat on the head, but I'm using that scoop motion to just blend everything smoothly. And I feel like that 1.5 and that number 3 guard are the perfect combo to work hand in hand with each other. And as you can see here, it's just blending in perfect to that number 3 guard. With my half guard all the way closed, I just slowly started to soften out that bald guideline. To me, this step right here helps out a lot. It doesn't make you really fight that bald guideline when it's time to get it out with your clipper closed. So here I'm just putting in that work with that half guard, guys. I started off closed, halfway, and now I'm all the way open. And as you can see here, it's just making that fade tie together. And of course, now I'm finishing off the haircut with the clipper all the way closed. And this is just pretty much detailing work, guys. I mean, at this point, the half guard carried a lot of the weight already. So I just went ahead and went in with my clipper closed, clipper halfway, and now clipper open. And as you can see here, I'm just softening out some of those dark areas that I still see. But overall, man, the cut is coming together. Now with the shaver to make sure it's fully to the skin, make sure it's fully bald, haircut lasts a little longer. And this is one of my pet peeves, man, is when barbers leave these hairs behind the ears sticking out too much. I mean, they'll line it up, don't get me wrong, but oftentimes they forget to freehand these little hairs that stick straight up. If you want that line as crispy as possible, guys, just watch these steps. Go in with one of your smallest combs and just clipper over comb that area, and then go ahead and go in with your trimmer. And as you can see here, how much more crispier that line comes out. And you can't forget about his arch. So just making sure everything is as tight and crispy as possible. And he did request that sauce. So this is the enhancements. Just threw a little bit on there. Wanted to look as natural as possible with a little bit of pop as requested. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys are a fan of enhancements or not. This is how this side is coming out, guys. And now you want to repeat the same exact process on the opposite side of the head. Again, there's some areas where you will have to adjust just due to growth patterns, because some people's hair grows forward and some people's grows back in certain areas. So just being able to adapt to whoever comes and sits in your chair is key to becoming a successful booked barber. But in this situation, his hair patterns pretty much grew consistent, so I pretty much followed the same steps, just in different orders. But everything is all applied the same. It's just the same rules apply. You can just interchange them. So instead of going in with my one guard first, I went ahead and with my clipper all the way open. And honestly, man, that's the beautiful part about having a system, is that within that system, you can just interchange some of the rules, right? So instead of going in with my one guard, I went ahead and went in with my clipper all the way open, and then I used my one guard after. Again, it's the same system. It's just interchanging some of the area or some of the steps. There you go. So it still works. The blend still comes out the same. I'm just showing different ways that you can go about things, just so that way you don't get confused, or whatever's faster and easier for you. Now that we're starting to detail the cut, starting to wrap it up more and more, now with the half guard. Um, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe on this video, guys. I'm new to this long form content, but I've been wanting to post long form content on YouTube for a while now. I've had all the gear, I just never taken the steps or that leap of faith to do so. Right. I'm grateful for everyone that has followed me on this journey and subscribed so far. And to be honest, my ultimate goal is just to help the next generation barber, man. Whatever skills are applied in this video, whether they're for you or they're not, at least take them with a grain of salt and apply them in some form or some fashion. But thank you guys for watching. Here's the transition to the end. I hope you guys like the haircut. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.